Whoa!
I'm gonna be a mom someday, and a wife, maybe. That's what I want to do. I wanted to have a normal life like that sometime. But I also want to, I don't know, there's so many options. There's so much to do in this world.
We're from Orange County, California, which is just south of Los Angeles. And we grew up a few miles inland in the ocean, and all of us in various cities, Anaheim especially, and which is where Disneyland is. Yeah, Disneyland is known as the Magic Kingdom, and having grown up around there, a lot of the kids call it the Tragic Kingdom. It's like a little joke about Disneyland. It's just a nice little joke, I guess. But we decided to call the album that because there's this whole idea about something on the surface looking really beautiful. Like Disneyland is this very idealized place. It's very clean and happiest place on earth, and that whole sort of thing. Yet the streets surrounding it, the city surrounding it, is kind of slummy a little bit. You know, it's kind of run down, and there's a lot of homeless people and prostitution, and it's not the nicest area. So it's like if you look a little, if you go there, you'll see this. Tony and myself are probably going to go back to college and finish university and get normal jobs. There's a good chance that I'm going to be making French fries at McDonald's, which is a big restaurant in the United States.
Like a tease, you know, because it's very expensive. We aren't from wealthy families or anything like that, so we'd have to sometimes be illegal and try to sneak in. And they had this thing called transferring, where in the old days they just put a stamp on your hand and it glows underneath the black light, and you go in the bathroom and click, and then like that. If you're really careful, you can do it. Like get in, because it doesn't have to be like a clean print. Just if it's on there. So we'd sneak in and go dancing at Videopolis. Is that what the name of it was? There's a lot of death rockers and people that were into The Cure and those kinds of bands at that time. But I don't know. We actually got to play at Disneyland. We were the first ever band to have a mosh pit with Mickey and Minnie and all of them, and it was crazy. We played right in front of Small World.
The way people get paid in this band is for every note you get a certain amount of money, and so Adrian's just pounding away back there, throwing in extra notes, hi-hats, like 16th notes, 32nd notes, and at the end of the night when it's all added up, look who walks away with all the cash.
Right.
That's fine with us.
Dr. Dre.
Flex. On the surface, it's very upbeat and very happy and danceable music, but underneath in the lyrics, some of the themes are these little tragedies running through the whole album, these kind of sad little stories, and so we felt it was a way we could kind of tie it together with this icon from our hometown. It's hard to grow up in Anaheim and not be constantly aware of the fact that Disneyland's right there. So many people in the community work there, and there's always a lot of tourists and that sort of thing, so we always kind of get hit over the head with a boy.
When you go swimming and there's lanes, and they have those floating things in the lanes, I want to be the guy that hangs those every morning. You go on one side and you hang, and then you swim to the other side and you hang it, and then you start on that side and you hang the other one.
I don't know what those are.
Okay, like when you're swimming and you're like racing in the Olympics, there's lanes, those
the
floating buoys.
Yeah, right.
I want to be the guy that hangs those.
I used to do that when I was on the swim team.
Really?
Yeah.
But I want to get creative with it and do different colors, like, you know what I mean?
Right, so actually design the buoy itself.
Yeah, take it to a different level. Yeah.
You didn't do that for the Olympics?
No, I wouldn't. I'd do it for underprivileged kids at charity swimming pools and stuff like that.
good.
That's my goal.
Punk rock bands like started sprouting up. It's like the suburban punk scene. Bands like Social Distortion and Agent Orange and the Adolescents were the Orange County's punk bands. Was it TSOL? Was that one of them? I don't know if you've heard of these bands, but it started this underground scene, and this was like maybe 15 years ago, and it's continued ever since. And there's Orange County has like all these different levels of punk rock now. There's these young kids that do, not kids, but like teenagers that are doing all ages punk shows, and it's very fast and loud and aggressive. And then there's these bar bands who are guys in their 30s who are playing punk rock in bars, and it's a big part of the culture there. And like I said earlier about the beach culture, that it ties in a lot of the surfers and stuff. It goes hand in hand with skate and punk culture. So that's another thing that's all over the place. And we always kind of were able to fit into that scene. We'd never consider ourselves a punk band, but we've been able to fit in with those bands, and our sound is just aggressive enough that people were pretty accepting of us.
My goal is to sit home and drink beer and watch talk shows daily without interruption.
Without interruption, yeah.
What about your girlfriend?
She'll come home after work and watch it with me.